as a 90s kid, I remember how wedding films used to look back then. From that to now, these kind of cinematic, big, grand wedding films.
It took forever to convince people. No Indian hired me for the first 3 years. They were like, ridiculous, are you going to spend like 4 lakh rupees to shoot a wedding? Where's that 5 set of DVDs that you get? मुझे सब कुछ चाहिए, सब कुछ record होनी चाहिए.
You get a sense of like they are forced to get married or they are not really happy getting married.
I've realized over the past 15 years that people get married for very different reasons.
I personally discovered the wedding film after Anushka and Virat Kohli's wedding. It was so pure, intimate and so simple.
Just to show the world that look, an Indian wedding can look like this. That wedding video broke the internet.
This Bollywood actor cheating on his wife 2 months into the wedding, and then they didn't want to take the film or pay you. Please leak some secrets out.
It's a miracle everyone got to see Deepika and Ranveer's wedding film.
What's the most bizarre client request you've ever said yes to?
Can you remove my...
In this episode, I sit down with Vishal Punjabi, the man who turned wedding films into cinema. Founder of the wedding filmer, he's behind iconic love stories like Virat and Anushka's, Deepika and Ranveer's, Kiara and Siddharth, and countless others that have redefined how India remembers its weddings. Before capturing vows, he spent over a decade at Red Chillies Entertainment, learning the craft of storytelling alongside the king of romance, Shah Rukh Khan. Today, his team doesn't just shoot weddings, they create films that feel timeless. This conversation is about what it really takes to capture love, emotion, and memory in their most raw and beautiful form. You're watching One Little Secret with Adhunika Singh. Hi Vishal, thank you for opening your studio today for us.
Thank you for coming.
I'm so happy to be here, and let me just begin by manifesting that next time I'm sitting across you as a bride-to-be and your client.
Hi, look at you. Make sure he's rich.
Yes. Oh, of course, he has to be to afford you. So Vishal, firstly congratulations on celebrating 15 years of the wedding filmer now.
Thank you so much. It's been quite the journey.
Quite the journey. So tell us about where did it all begin, and we as a 90s kid, I remember how wedding films used to look back then. Wedding guests eating food and funny montages of heart-shaped bride and groom. From that to now, these kind of cinematic big grand wedding films. So what did it take to convince people firstly, and where did it all begin for you?
It took forever to convince people. No Indian hired me for the first 3 years. Oh. So I did a Korean wedding, Japanese wedding, Spanish wedding. But to convince Indians to invest money into something like a memory and make it beautiful, back then, before the age of Instagram, it was a mammoth task. The question would be eventually, where's that 5 set of DVDs that you get? मुझे सब कुछ चाहिए, सब कुछ record होनी चाहिए. But then nobody ever watches it. So 3 years after doing weddings by night and advertising in the day, I decided to shoot my friend's wedding, who was having a Punjabi wedding. And he fought with his parents, and they were like, ridiculous, are you going to spend like 4 lakh rupees to shoot a wedding? And that day, in those days, I used to charge 1 lakh a day. Oh. And it was a 4-day wedding, so technically 4 lakhs or something like that it was. And I went there with everything I had, and everything that I had, literally money-wise, I put into that film and invested into it. And I heard the Mami sing a song. We invested money from our own pocket to make a song, just to show the world that, look, an Indian wedding can look like this. That wedding video broke the internet back then. There was some 44 million views overnight, and overnight I had to change my company. Overnight I had to get a space. Overnight I had to hire a team, a sales team, an editor, because then I was also shooting a lot more, and overnight it became a success story. So it's literally one wedding that changes your life.
Absolutely. And before that, this was your first paid client?
No, this was, I'd done weddings before that, but it's my first wedding that I did was for 20,000 rupees. It was an experiment more than a wedding. The bride was really beautiful. She was marrying the Spanish boy in Bandra. And I thought it would be beautiful to shoot. And I went ahead and I shot it. And I felt really good. The bride had a panic attack right before her wedding. So there were new emotions I'd never experienced. Yeah. I was also thinking of writing a movie at the time. The dream was to always make a movie. So one of the ideas I had was, let's talk to the bride and groom and interview them to see if I can get any character notes on the people I'm trying to create. And while speaking to her, she said such beautiful things about her father and about her sister and about the man she's marrying and why she's marrying him. It moved me, and it made me think that it also gave me meat to make a documentary. And it made me think that this is a really, really beautiful career to make movies, and there was nothing like this that existed. I saw a big hole in the market. In Harvard Business School, they teach you about the blue ocean and the red ocean, where the blue ocean is this place where it's undiscovered. It's a whole new career, and you can carve your own path and your own current, and you can make your own ecosystem there. And there's the red ocean, like Bollywood, which was full, and you'd be a very small fish in a very big ocean. It's full of sharks and full of like these predator fish. Here you're this. So I saw this blue ocean and jumped over, and I felt a certain level of freedom, creative freedom to do what I wanted and how I wanted to do. I could create the teams I wanted. It was just a huge learning curve from working for somebody to setting up your own company.
Right, so you were, as far as I know, you were working with Red Chillies before you actually started wedding filming yourself and went solo. So tell us about your journey there, because a lot of wedding filming that you do is very connected to storytelling, and it's very cinematic. It's not just filming people getting married. There's so much storytelling to show the love that they share. So how has your days at Red Chillies and being on film set impacted this? And also you worked with the king of romance, Shah Rukh Khan.
I think I spent 10 years working with Red Chillies.
Oh, wow.
I saw it through 3 phases. There was Dreams Unlimited when I joined, and then it became Arclights and Films when I went in between, and then it became Red Chillies finally. Over the years, I learned from probably the best storyteller I know in this world. Like when Shahrukh tells stories, you'd listen, and he tells them really, he's very entertaining. And he taught me something called brevity of expression, which is, in the world of advertising, you only have 30 seconds and 60 seconds and 45 seconds to tell a story. And he would come on set and he would break down these stories and help me shoot them and direct them. And very motivational in that sense, but would also teach you how to tell stories in the shortest possible time with the maximum possible impact, which now in today's world, it really helps me in the world of Instagram, where people's attention span is so short, and weddings which are so long. But to find the meat and to tell that story in a short amount of time and to make you feel something, that is something I learned from Shah Rukh Khan.
And it must be a great experience also too, because I mean, who gets a job in the first, career move with Shah Rukh Khan? That must be so brilliant to work with.
I was really lucky.
What was to be around him? What kind of work ethics did you kind of see him have, and that you imbibe today with your team and leading your team?
Red Chillies at that time was a ragtag team of young people who had come from all over the country. They didn't have homes in Bombay. So, he used to pay very close attention to how his crew was treated and how his cast was treated on shoot. I still remember we used to get free lunches in the studio. And that used to really help us, because then we'd not, it would save us a lot of time and money as well. Swiggy didn't exist back then. You didn't have but also, like, when you're earning that much to provide meals and to look after your crew and to make sure they're paid well and to make sure they're creatively motivated is something I try to learn from him. So I've tried to do my best for the people who work with me.
Like you said, there's someone here at your studio cooking meals for the team.
Who cooks for us and everything. I mean, apart from that, then there's also the amount of hard work he puts in. I remember him and Bobby Chawla, his right-hand man, who was Juhi's brother, who ran the company, who was also a direct boss and a huge mentor to me. He used to always tell me, and I used to always fight with him over the budgets of ads and how much I could spend, and and he'd always tell me that, one day when you run your own company now, you will know how much it hurts. And you will know how hard it is to do this and make it work. And I kept saying, yeah, you don't know. But now today I look back at those words and I really know how hard it is and how many sacrifices they had to make sure that we had a good time working. I think that was really nice.
I think leadership roles are such. The entrepreneur journey is very lonely. Only we know. I completely understand. So, while you were working there in Bollywood, one of your videos that I watched, you mentioned that you worked with Farah Khan also on Main Hoon Na, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
that was our first film together.
For me, I believe Farah Khan's storytelling is very different. It's very not credited
She's
enough.
a riot.
She is so fun to watch, even on her YouTube vlogs. So tell me about working with her. What was that like?
It's amazing to see Farah now also, because all these years she's not changed. She's only become younger, cooler, funnier, sexier. I've always loved her. I have a very special place for her in my heart. She made me develop the thickest possible skin you can have at a shoot. She's lots of fun to shoot for. She's a bag full of brilliant ideas. I'm surprised she's not doing so much more work now.
Yeah.
But I've always loved her. She's been a great mentor.
Any story that you can share?
I've been beaten by her a lot. But I've also learned so much from her. And she's somebody who I didn't know anything about filmmaking when I met her. But she believed in me, she liked me, she thought there was something in me that nobody else saw. And she gave me a break. She really taught me, she held my hand and taught me how to do a shoot breakdown. She made sure that and I did the best I could to make sure her film was made to her vision. And to be part of her team at such a young age and to be given so many responsibilities just shows the kind of person she is. She didn't have to do all of that for me. She had access to the best crews in the world.
Right. And it had some of the great music also, those movies. Tell me about your exposure to music, because you sort of compose almost all the wedding film musics.
Well, like Farah, I don't compose the music, but I work very closely with the music directors to make sure I get what I want. I am very musically inclined. I do compose melodies. Or I have a lot of great ideas for Indian music. And I feel like Indian weddings is a space where music was not explored to the fullest. In the 1980s, T-Series had bhajans, and they exploded with that. On a smaller scale, mine was similar. My company got known because of the music we create. And even though I have a very small audience, because I don't create mainstream music, we try and create music with purpose, like a song which is there for a puja, or a song that is there for a South Indian wedding, or a song that is there for a Sikh wedding that has the palle and the lava stitched into it. So we try and work to create something that doesn't exist. This again I learned from sitting with Farah and Anu Malik in their hilarious music sittings, or with Vishal Shekhar for the movie she was working on. There's a lot that I had to learn. Also with advertising, when you're doing jingles for like 60 seconds and 90 seconds and 45 seconds, you have a very short time to tell a very powerful story, and the songs have to be very catchy. And they have to have purpose.
And emotionally connect for the purpose it has. That's beautiful. I mean, you're very lucky to have that kind of exposure in the beginning of your career, and we can clearly see how it translates in your work today. And Vishal, I personally discovered the wedding film after Anushka and Virat Kohli's wedding. And I think that's one of the most loved weddings universally. It was so pure, intimate, and so simple. Did you know while you were going to shoot that wedding that you were going for this?
In honest truth, no, I didn't. I had no idea what was it. Because you get an idea, just like it was all kept under wraps, so they didn't tell us. We kind of figured out it may be them, but you'll only know it when you're there. And we got there and we were very pleasantly surprised. I met them and they were like, it's not like they knew of me or they knew of my work. It's not like Virat Kohli has time to sit and watch wedding videos. But they were just inherently very sweet, nice people. I met them and they smiled and they said, please do what you do. We don't know what you do, but we believe if you're here, you've done it right. So they trusted their planners, Shadi Squad, who trusted us. And they looked after us really well. It was a very small wedding. It felt like everybody was together. They were really nice to me. They were really kind to me. They gave me space. I try not to intrude on anyone's space when we're shooting. You see, these weddings are not shoots.
Yeah.
They're weddings. So, and these guys, they used to shoots and all of that jazz. I don't want to make them feel like they're working on their wedding. So I never direct them or do anything like that. We only capture the wedding. And it unfolded really beautifully. And I felt a certain level of Sufism at the wedding. There was a divine love for God, spirituality, and each other. And it felt divine. So hence we made a song called Pirvitu.
Yeah, that was the first one that you released.
That was the first, one of the first few songs we released, yes. And it was an instant hit.
Yeah, and such a simple bridal entry and so normally done, because today I don't know why people are doing those choreographed entries. Do you find them funny when you're shooting it?
I mean, to each their own. Some people want that. So people get married, I've realized over the past 15 years that people get married for very different reasons. Some people get married because it's their dream. Some people get married because they have to. Some people get married because it's a societal norm. They're influenced by things they've seen online or in movies. And some people just want it for themselves. So to each their own. There's no right or wrong.
Right. And speaking of celebrity weddings, another wedding film of yours that I wept after watching was Kiara and Siddharth Malhotra's wedding. So tell us about that. How did that go? Because I know what we see is it looks all well stitched together, but tell us about the whole editing and what was that thing what was that moment when she's doing that pulling and then he's saying, come soon. He's
Honestly,
looking at
we don't have anything to do with what they do and how they do. That's probably an inside joke they have. Our job is to capture it.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I didn't even shoot Kiara's wedding.
Oh.
My crew shot Kiara's wedding. I was already booked to do another wedding. See, what happens is most of these Bollywood celebrity weddings, they come very last minute. Because obviously the hush-hush or the planned and because dates and all of that jazz. So then they happen last minute. When I'm booked for a wedding, I'm usually booked a year before, 6 months before, 5 months before. So it's hard to... what I did realize though is that my crew who filmed it and my crew who edited it with a little bit of my help, they're outstanding. They also shot my wedding. They've shot some of the finest weddings like Nayanthara's wedding, where I don't go for all the shoots we do anymore. I have a really, really solid team of people who have learnt under me, who have learnt with me, and now make these films with me, and they're stunning.
So how do you decide your presence at the wedding? Is this like a different package that if Vishal is on the at the wedding?
It does. I think to keep my creative juices flowing and to give this my 100% each and every time, I've realized over the years that I can't overburn out myself. So I am picky about the weddings I choose now. I am growing older. My back is getting a little creaker. My neck has a little bit of a neck. So I have to be careful with how many weddings I shoot. So I think now I choose to shoot about 12 to 15 weddings a year myself. Each one I handpick myself. Each one I speak to the clients myself to make sure that I can do a good job. And the same goes for the other 15, 20 films where we do as a company. I still treat it as a boutique thing where we can do only a limited number of films every year because each film deserves that special attention it gets. I spend time editing almost every film. We create music for almost every film we do in this place. But I think to shoot them, you have to give yourself a little to each film. And you want to make sure you're doing that for the people who deserve it, who can afford it, and who I also believe in.
So you mentioned Nayanthara and Vignesh's wedding, and I did watch the documentary as well. So when you were shooting, you knew that it was going to be part of the documentary, or you had no idea?
I did know. In fact, they wanted me to direct the whole documentary, but time wouldn't permit because it was in the middle of wedding season, so I couldn't. So they had another production house there. But I think Nayanthara really trusted our vision for a wedding video, so she wanted us to film it. It was a little bit of a battle because then you're filming with other people as well, and it's not the most comfortable. It's more important for us to have a very clean canvas when we're filming these weddings. But we managed and we did a good job. Whenever you know you're doing something like this, you have to shoot it in a different format, in different resolutions, in different bit rates with different cameras.
As per Netflix's guidelines.
As per Netflix's guidelines. So we kind of have to know beforehand.
Yeah,
technically.
Yeah. But it was really lovely. I mean, even the whole, like the wedding and the shed that they created was beautiful. Another adorable Bollywood couple that I think people are waiting for their movie is Aditi Rao Hydari and Siddharth's wedding. The pictures were so simple and nice South Indian wedding. So are you going to release that wedding anytime soon?
Our films are mainly kept private. Most of the films we make, in fact, the nicest films I've ever made in my life, nobody's ever going to see the light of day. It's a miracle everyone got to see Deepika and Padukone's, Deepika and Ranveer's wedding film. It took 5 years. So for 5 years, imagine, we shot that wedding, we saw the wedding video, it was ready the way it was beautiful. No one ever saw it. No one could ever know how beautiful it actually was and how the music, it was only created for them. And that's what the thought process always was. Later on, I think if people decide to release them, it's on to them. They own it, I don't.
Oh, okay. So it was their call to release it via
It is
Coffee
their
with
it was
Karan.
their call, not mine.
Okay, okay.
I can't release someone's wedding video. These are very private affairs. You see,
Right.
some of the people I filmed for, they're governors, they're lawyers, they're prime ministers. I've shot from presidents of the United States to Japan. We have filmed some of the most important celebrities in the
Amazing.
country, in the world. And then sometimes they're doing things like in a wedding, they get emotional or they cry or they feel things that they don't want the world to see that side of them. So it's very important for me to be able to keep these very private.
But it must be so difficult to bring the whole family together for any frame at weddings, because
I think they automatically gravitate towards each other at weddings. You know, in normal life, yes, it's hard to bring people together, but at weddings, you see the people who really matter to you, they gravitate towards you. Like even at my wedding, you know, when I was getting ready, the people who mattered the most to me, they were there, they came and they helped me,
Yeah,
and I didn't have to
yeah.
call them, and
yeah.
they just come.
And do couples first inform you or your team before the shoot happens that these are main people to highlight and like capture during the filming?
More importantly, we take the effort to meet everybody in the family. Usually we go a day before early. Usually most of the important people who are there, who are running the wedding or who are close to the bride and groom, they're also there a day early. So we do a family dinner and we meet all of them. You get to know who the uncle is, the babi is, the chachi is, the taya is.
Yeah.
And you have these conversations with them. It breaks the ice. I also do these, we call them interviews, but they're like this. You just sit and talk to each other about life.
camera?
Yeah, on camera. We talk about life, we talk about marriage, we talk about how they've held this family together, the things they've learned over the years, things that they want to pass on to their children. I hear details about the love stories. You know, sometimes you wait for the friends to get drunk and then you talk to them about their perspective on the love story or the dramas they've seen behind things that I've not seen.
Yeah.
The stuff the couple are not telling me, the friends will usually tell me. And once once you hear these stories, you inherently have to have it inside you. It's not a career for everyone.
It's like a script as you go for
Kind
the
of.
final film. And while filming or while you are interacting with the couple, do you get a sense of like they are forced to get married or they are not really happy getting married or it's an arranged or a love marriage? Do you get
I
a
think
kind
if someone was spending so much money getting us and having that kind of wedding and doing all of that, they better be in love. No, but realistically speaking, I think I try and very, very hard. This is the basis of my job. I mean, apart from filming nicely and editing nicely and making nice music and having a fantastic crew, the bottom line is we all have to do one thing. We have to put these very beautiful lenses of life onto our eyes when we go to these weddings. So things like negativity and people fighting and bitchy auntie and bitchy uncle or couples having an argument, try and see the positive when you look at this and do it. It's very easy to be the bitchy person or to be the cunts, you know, that who goes and talks about, hey, you know this. But more importantly, it's understand why they're having these emotions. It's a stressful time, yeah. It's not an easy time at a wedding. People may lose their cool. People may not behave in the right way or the way you think or you want them to behave. Doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that you have to change your lens and try and look for something that you really like about this couple or really like about this person and focus on that and film that, because that will make your job in post-production much easier as well.
Yeah. So, given the cultural diversity in India and there's so many religions, so while filming these weddings, have you seen some tradition that you thought ये तो बहुत outdated है, ये क्यों कर रहे हैं अभी?
I like rituals. I love the ones they haven't. I think it's about, again, looking at the right lens. I've had couples who said, no, I don't want to do the Kanyadan, no, I don't want to do this. I think if you look at it from a different perspective, they're all really sweet. The only thing I don't like is animals at a wedding. I feel like they're cruel. It's not fun to like drum a loud dhol right in front of a horse or put fireworks on its feet. These are things that I cringe at and I stop shooting when I see. I talk to couples beforehand and tell them, please avoid getting animals on your shoot. You have cars and you have carriages and you have all these fun things to use now. Golf carts and segways and bicycles and autos and convertibles and helicopters. You don't really need to torture an elephant or a horse for this. And I think slowly people are realizing it. There's some...
Become on elephants?
Some still do.
Oh God.
I try and tell them not to. I specifically say, please don't. And then if they do, it breaks my heart a little. I definitely don't promote it. I don't put it up on our website, or we don't put it up. It's a memory. We sometimes film it. I put it as little as I possibly can on their insistence if I have to, but I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, definitely. But I think there is a shift, sort of.
It's
People are coming
shifting.
in those vintage cars.
It's only like 5 or 10% of the people
Yeah.
who do come on elephants and horses. It is changing drastically. I think the more conversations I have with people, most of them are the first who say, actually, no, we don't want animals. That's heartwarming to see.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I mean, each custom has its own. And people keep creating new ones, and that's even sweeter. Like at my wedding, we had this flower blowing thing, which I'd never seen, and it was really sweet.
Yeah,
It was
I
so
saw
cute.
that shot. Yeah.
And the sweet little rituals, and they just mean so much. And they just got these little metaphors which are very pretty.
Tell me about your wedding. How did that go? You shot. You had your few functions here as well at the studio.
I had a function right here where we're sitting. This was our Mehndi and Haldi spot.
It's so beautiful.
It really is.
Perfect decor.
It really is. This is home for us. We've done so much over here, and we really wanted this space to be part of our wedding. It was important to have a function here. We love this space, and it's our family, and we built it from scratch. We really protected this space, and to have our Mehndi and Haldi here was really special. We chose Aman Bagh to get married at because it's again a garden, and it was really small. It's intimate. It's beautiful. It's opulent, but it's not too opulent. I loved the hospitality there. I loved the people there, and the architecture. It was probably the best days of my life, hands down.
Yeah, absolutely. And look beautiful as well. Okay, so Vishal, next segment is rapid fire segment. So please leak some secrets out for us. And be quick and rapid now. So, a wedding destination you dream of shooting at?
Ladakh.
Beautiful. Scripted film or wedding film, what's more pressure?
Wedding film. Only happens once, no retakes.
Most emotional moment you've ever captured?
My own wedding. Turning around. I didn't capture it technically, but it was the most emotional moment I've experienced at a wedding. It was at my own.
One filmmaker you deeply admire?
Michel Gondry. He's a French director who made Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. He's also an ad film director. Outstanding work.
I must watch it. Most overused song in wedding videos?
Madhania. There's something very melancholic about it in not a happy way. And I don't like using that song. I've never used it, but I see too many people walk into it, use it at weddings, and it doesn't excite me.
One trend in wedding films you secretly hate?
You know, when you have photo shoots in the middle of the event, or when the bride is entering and the photographers make them stop to take the picture, I find that retarded. It's always nicer to let the event flow as it's supposed to and be good enough and smart enough and sharp enough to capture it at that moment instead of making them pose for everything.
We need talent like yours for that.
Well, I'm the videographer, so I'm hoping that there are photographers out there who are equal. I mean, there are so many I work with who are very talented. But then there's always this one odd wedding you go to and they've got they make it more of a shoot than a wedding. That's not a fun trend.
If your life were a wedding song, which one would it be?
Mujhe janna ho to pehchan do meri yaadein.
Wow, I've never heard this. First wedding you ever cried while filming?
The first wedding I shot. I think I got emotional when the bride was talking about her childhood and her father and the struggles they had and how they overcame them. It moved me, and I think it inspired me to start doing what I do.
What's the most bizarre client request you've ever said yes to?
Ay. Can you remove my ex from the wedding film?
Why was he on the guest list?
Well, they were friends and then they had a fight.
Oh God. Love story voiceover or instrumental only?
Love story voiceover has a little more depth.
Yeah. And golden hour?
You knew the answer to that one already.
Golden hour or night shots?
I think you know the answer to this one too. Golden hour. The thing is, most golden hour weddings end up being night weddings because they get late.
I heard Vicky Kaushal in some interview say that Katrina made me rush back to, get the golden hour. She was like, Joota chupai, just give them. We need to get the golden hour. So I guess that's important for the brides, at least, for the perfect picture.
I think for us also, we enjoy shooting in that magical light. God's light always better than man light.
Yeah. Okay, that's the end of our rapid fire.
True.
But coming to this topic of golden hour and then, the perfect lighting. What about any time that shoot went off plan, started raining, or an outdoor wedding, and then how did you
No,
come around that?
It does. Virat-Anushka's wedding was rained out. They shifted the location last minute. Devika and Naren didn't sleep in the night. She spent the whole night shifting the mandap and everything. But you know what? Every time it's happened, there's another couple in Vietnam I shot. Very sweet. This lawyer who loves his daughter like anything in the world and has worked day and night tirelessly for 2 years planning his daughter's wedding. And he's so, he came to the studio and he sat with me and I saw the joy and pride in his eyes when he was talking about this bridge he had made from the pool to go to the mandap in front of the ocean. I was just happy to see him so happy. On the day though it rained and he was disappointed, but he tried to keep his spirits up and it's all on video. But it added so much drama to the wedding and then eventually it happened under the chandelier in the lobby of the hotel. But in my opinion and even his opinion at the end of it, it worked out even better. So it usually does. Wedding is not so much about where it happens or how it happens. It's about who's there and how you feel when you get married.
But then the lighting and all changes like the cost for you guys. But or by now you know.
Yeah, we know. We can work with it. It's okay. Lighting and everything else is secondary. When you come to a wedding now, you can have the nicest place, you can have the nicest clothes, but you can also get married in Superman t-shirts in court. It doesn't mean your wedding is less beautiful. It doesn't mean your wedding is less special. It just means that it's different and it's who you are and it's what you want. That's
Absolutely,
I think we have to realize that. That's why I never enter my weddings into awards. Like people give me awards and I take them, but I don't enter my films and say this wedding film deserves an award. Because this is what I could afford for my wedding. I could afford to get married in a manbag. I could afford to have all of these beautiful people there. I have friends in the wedding industry who came together to help me get married. A lot of people don't have that access or don't have those budgets. Doesn't mean that their wedding is less special. In fact, some of the nicest weddings I've shot are the smallest, simplest weddings in a temple.
Yeah, temple weddings are beautiful. And have you ever had an incident where like the bride or the family members have requested that, can you make me look slimmer or in the edit or make me look fairer?
Yeah, they usually, sometimes they do, but I always take it in jest and I think they also mean it in jest. Like if I tell him right now, hey, make me look nice, am I looking nice in the shot? It's a way of, I think, warming up to the photographer or videographer more than having that spoken to. I think sometimes brides, and even I feel it, and I'm sure you feel it too, when you hear your own self in camera, you kind of sound weird or you look weird.
Yeah.
Sometimes we take their interviews or we don't have time at weddings, so they're not fully ready. So then they ask us, okay, don't use too much of this shot. And I'm happy to make those changes. It's human.
Yeah, absolutely. And you recently released a Hindu gay wedding also. And I watched that film and I saw the parents were so supportive. So do you feel like an added pressure or responsibility to tell those kind of stories and these kind of projects where it's so sensitive?
I did. I took that upon myself. In fact, I've invested a part of myself and some money into making that film just because I'd never filmed a gay wedding before. My crew went and it was led by a team. It was led by a guy called Ashish Soni, who's a director himself, and he's also from the LGBT community. And there's a lot of empathy he's added to that film. So for people to understand that being gay is natural and it's not forced or by choice. As Hindus, we fall in love with someone's soul. We don't fall in love with someone's body. And the soul doesn't have a gender. This is something that this film taught me. And although we've lost followers, we've had lots of trolling, we've had people abuse us and insult us. I have not taken it down, I have not apologized for it, and I've not thought it's wrong, and I've only promoted it. I'd obviously delete comments from people
I did see some of the
who say nasty
comments,
things, and I delete them. I try my best to, at least. There's so many. But reason being, it's not free speech. This is my company, this is someone's wedding. If you can't be nice, and if you can't say something polite, kind, or respectful, then don't say anything at all. And I don't want you to be part of our followers or community. So I block them, and I'm very happy to do so.
And what are the sentiments like at these weddings around the wedding guests? Are they all aligned with the emotion?
It was an intimate wedding again, but his parents were, and that's what matters. The people his siblings, his friends, and that's what matters at the end of the day. This world, I've realized, is so big. And not everybody needs to have a voice.
Yeah.
This country is, this world, forget this country, is is very, very large, and there are too many points of view, and some of them you shouldn't even know about.
That's true. And you've also, I'm sure, must have done interfaith weddings. So what are those like? How do you show both the traditions equally in your storytelling?
You know, Adhunika, this world is not what it used to be 15 years ago. 15 years ago, the internet itself was a very beautiful place. Whenever we've done interfaith weddings now, they get heavily trolled. There's a lot of abuse and a lot of, I call it uneducated um, points of view and perspectives because they're just harsh. Look, I've married a Muslim and I was hated for it. I have no regrets. I don't think my marriage worked or didn't. My marriage didn't work not because she was Muslim. It's just because the two of us couldn't live together. Um, my mother is a Christian. My father is a Hindu. Technically, I'm still Muslim because I never converted after unconverting. I'm now married to a Sikh. I've experienced and I've understood and I've read the Bible, the Quran, and the Guru Granth Sahib, and the Gita and the Ramayana. So I'm very well versed with religion and what it stands for and what it means. And I've tried to take the good from everyone and tell these stories. I personally love interfaith weddings. I think there's nothing more beautiful. This is something I learned from Shah Rukh as well, where he used to celebrate Diwali and he used to celebrate Eid. And look, if he can do it, I can do it, the world can do it. It's not wrong to respect someone's religion. A mother of a groom taught me that once, that I can do my puja, my husband does namaz, and we both respect each other's religions. It's religion to me is cultural and it's geographic. You know, they used to wear the hijab and the long robes because of the sand and the wind, and they don't eat pork because of the disease it used to cause back then. In India, cows used to provide for agriculture. So there's a reason why we do certain things, and it goes back in history, right? Most of them were for the right reasons. And I think to educate the uneducated, you come up with these stories and these myths and these beautiful tales so children understand and adults understand and the angry ones understand eventually.
I did watch one of the interfaith weddings that you shot was Parnya's, and I mean it was not completely interfaith. The groom is partially Muslim as well, but something very nice that his mom said in that video was that when she's Sindhi, I think, she got married into this Muslim household, and she said my mother-in-law said that just be God-fearing. I don't care which God you fear. And that was so beautiful in that sense also. So I think
these films we make are a reflection of this time that we live in. So I would want that 100 years from now, 200 years from now, anthropologically, if someone digs a hole and finds a hard drive and finds all these films and watches them, they should, the finest people in India got married and thought in a very beautiful way. They weren't racist, they weren't hateful, they weren't bigoted, they weren't patriarchal. They were lovely, good souls who wanted this world to be a better place. That would be nice.
Absolutely. Now coming to some of the most controversial things that you ever said on one of the other podcasts that went viral about this Bollywood actor cheating on his wife 2 months into the wedding, and then they didn't want to take the film or pay you. So
yeah, both. They got divorced.
They're divorced?
They divorced
so
then
who's
only.
it?
I can't say.
Reddit is still figuring that out. I've seen some Reddit threads.
Reddit's a nasty place. No, I don't know. I have.
So are you planning to leak that now?
I have the footage. No, I'm not going to leak it. I can't leak it. I own the footage, but I'm not going to leak it. That was just a joke. It was all in jest. People got such wrong ideas from it. My gosh.
Yeah, they are dissecting and dropping names.
The internet's not a nice place anymore. It's just a hateful, horrid place where some corners
so
of it.
So hopefully they get their answer now that the couple is divorced, and now they start making theories about who it is.
I think I said that then, right? They're divorced.
Okay.
I said it then. I mean, I've given that interview or that kind of podcast 100 times over. And, you never know what online what suddenly somebody picks up something and years later it can go viral. It's just a strange dynamic.
And speaking of, Instagram and influencers, have you had people reach out, influencers, that can you shoot my film on barter basis or like?
So many have. I say no.
No, right?
Clearly. I mean, we do these films for, they're timeless time memories. There's a purpose behind them. They're supposed to bring families closer together. They're heirlooms, they're treasures. It's a work of art that I spend months and months and months working on with my team. This is not something you do for likes and trends and reels, which come and go just for the
Yeah, for virality.
for virality. It's not that.
Most people, I mean, nowadays are trying to get married for the virality also.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
You'd
I
be
see that so
surprised.
often. But tell me something now, AI is also playing a role in these creative fields. How do you see that shift happening in terms of people are talking about AI is replacing so many creative roles? And on the flip side, I want to also tell us that how do you use AI in terms of maybe editing or, or your
So,
process of
AI is
film?
taking jobs. I mean, AI is used sometimes to have to give answers on Instagram and captions on Instagram. People are using AI all the time. I think the humanness of it and what's eventually going to happen, no, is we'll stop thinking for ourselves. I see it happen already with the young ones who work with me sometimes. They just put it into AI and whatever AI gives them, they give it back to me as their own sometimes. And then I feel like self-thought will die. It will
Yeah.
all be generic, and you don't want to be generic. Yes, we use AI. We use AI in very smart ways to do things we were not able to do before. In music, I can't play every instrument, so if I need to get a certain instrument and I can't afford to get an instrument and I want to make a demo to explain something to a music director, then I use AI. There's no right or wrong in this world. With every new technology comes, things that die out eventually. I'll give you an example. This GPay and UPI came out, right? You know the business that suffered the most because of that. Someone told me this, I don't even remember who. But apparently it's Alpenliebe and Mentos and these companies. Because when you used to go pay for something,
Yeah, 1 rupee.
you didn't
They
have
used to just
change.
give the.
So they'd give you this sweet.
Yeah.
So now from GPay going, a confectionery shop has suffered. No one made
Yeah,
that connection before. It's not that the confectionery guy got insecure when UPI opened. He must have been happy using UPI only to realize, oh shit, my business has gone down because somebody has done something completely unrelated to you.
Yeah.
That's how the world works with AI.
Right.
And I feel like using it to color correct or to make your post-production processes simpler makes sense. To try and use it to replace your voice is killing your own brain cells. But it is replacing jobs. Writers are having a hard time finding jobs. Filmmakers are struggling right now because AI is taking over the YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
They even have AI podcasts and presenters now.
Yeah, please don't replace me. So, at weddings, how do you does your crew get a brief, or have you guys planned that these are certain specific shots we have to take at certain, or is it all intuitively shot and then you take care of it in the edit room?
It's a little bit of both. There is a lot of thinking on your feet when you're at a wedding. Plans change, weather can change, things are late. I call myself the waiting filmer because you're waiting sometimes for the bride to come or for the makeup to be ready or for the set to be ready. But eventually, if you can think on your feet and capture it right to an edit, it makes your life in the edit table simpler. At the same time, having said that, there are lots of layers that you can put together because they're shot at different times by different people, which you're not aware of everywhere. And you
Yeah.
can't be everywhere at a wedding, but say she has shot something in another room and somebody else has shot something in another room and I'm with the bride. But when I see all the footage together, I can create something on the edit table that I couldn't have thought of before just because I didn't know.
So
it's a
most
little
of
bit
it
of
is
both.
in the edit also.
I would give it like a 50-50. Like I sometimes come up with the music idea on shoot and then sometimes I come up with it on the edit. Depends on what the bride is walking in on, how inspiring it is for me and what plays at the wedding, which artist they call. The pace of the wedding also matters. No?
That's true. But when you're there at a wedding, do you feel like weddings are actually very boring in terms of the template? It's so long.
It's not boring at all. I can promise you that. You have to look at it from my lens.
From your lens, because you're like the third eye.
Yeah. I've done over 500 weddings and I promise you that weddings are not boring.
So, we are coming to the end of our conversation, and before we conclude, I would want you to give an advice to anyone aspiring to be a wedding filmmaker or even a feature filmmaker. What would it be?
Dream big, start small, and shoot tight when you're starting. It's important to also find your own tribe. to make sure that you build this and you do this, because wedding films is like a dance, but it's a team dance. It's not a one-man dance or a one-woman dance. You need to work with your team of people and find the right people, because one bad apple can spoil the whole crate. When you do this, you understand that not every client can think like you and be like you or have the same intuitions and wants and desires you have. So you have to try and think from other people's perspectives. And lastly, it's very, very important to stay positive when you do this. Like I said earlier, it's very easy to find the wrongs and the nasty things and the things you don't like about people. Try and look for the good in people. That is a trait you need to hone if you have the wedding film or blood in you.
And how does someone get their first client? What should they do in terms of how do they build a portfolio? They can't shoot weddings and show someone.
No, I mean, don't think about money in the beginning. I think money will come if your success is driven by hard work, sheer talent, and a product that can move people at a cost nobody can do it at. And when you get to that space, then money will come automatically. We always think of the film you're trying to make. In the beginning, for the first 3 years, this was more like a hobby. It wasn't. It was a passion project I had. I used to do this for inspiration on weekends. Not even weekends. I'd probably do 3 weddings a year for the first 3 years. No one hired me. And then I go to wedding planners and look out for work and all. I just waited for everything to happen. Even now, we don't have a division called business development where we go out and do sales and meet people and do all of that. It happens very organically. And not saying that that's the right way of doing things. I'm sure that if you're more aggressive, you'd be more successful. But peace of mind is also something that I strive for. I want to work with what I have and work within limits. The goal is not to rule the world. The goal is to be happy.
So anyone wanting to start out, they should not focus on the money. Almost do it for free so that you kind of make a good portfolio as well. Learn on the job.
Free or not, but it's important to. There's a lot of learning. I'm still learning every day. There are rituals and cultures and stories that I hear that I've never heard before. Every time. And it's heartwarming to see. And if you can learn every day and grow every day, yes, never stop.
Beautiful. And our show's name is One Little Secret. So tell us, according to you, what's been one secret of yours to success?
I haven't forgotten my roots, my past. There's a saying in Africa, in Ghana, where I'm from, it's called Sankofa. It means go back and protect your past, because if you forget your past, you're bound to make the same mistakes that you made before. You'll make them again in the future. The point of making mistakes is you learn from them and you don't forget them. In India, there's a lot of jo hua so hua, bhul jao. In Africa, there's jo hua so hua, yaad karo. So it doesn't happen again to you. I think that's an important
Very
lesson.
profound. I'll take that with me as well. Thank you. Thank you. This was a lovely conversation, Vishal. And we'd like you to sign one board for us as a memento.
I'd love to. I will try. Do a decent job. Let me
You can
see.
fill the board as much as you want.
No, I'm hoping you'll have more.
Wow. Thank you. If you liked watching this conversation, don't forget to like, share
and subscribe
to my channel and also to The Wedding Filmer
on YouTube.
Thank you.